Saudicka Diaram show.
Just little over a year of us being married, the affair started with one prominent woman that he's been with, and we were in the church together, we're on the worship team together. There's not one thing that you did or didn't do that resulted in him hitting you, cheating on you, and sexually assaulting you. No, the Bible is riddled and just rocked with mental health references and care, but the church ignores that and focus more on, you know fear wear this and you know fear wear that because the Jezebel. That's what it focuses on, and completely eliminates us as human beings, and they victimize us as women.
Saudicka Diaram show. Ready for the show? Hashtag Saudicka Diaram.
It's nice to have you back today. Now we're checking in with someone you know by a different name. She is Simone Rochester, but I think a lot of y'all know her as Lyric Rochester.
Yes.
Lyric is who we're checking in with today. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we want to check in with her mental space. How is she managing being a mother, a businesswoman, and someone who has to really take care of self on a daily basis? So those are some of the things we've been talking about. And she also just told me that she's in therapy. And I love that. So that's a good place to start. Nice to have you, Lyric.
Listen, thank you for having me. Y'all, you acting like, no, thank you, ma'am. If I had a hat, it would be off for you. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming. So you are in therapy.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, give us a little backstory of how we got to therapy for Lyric.
All right. So sometime early last year, I was in a situation where I thought that I was mentally unstable. So I just called to be assessed. My therapist, Phoenix Counseling Center, by the way. Auntie Pat, big up yourself. My counselor, mwah, beautiful woman. So Phoenix Counseling Center. So I went to her. My first conversation, I called her and I was just like, hey, I just want to know if I am either bipolar or schizophrenic, and do you offer those services? Can I come to and be assessed? And she said, yeah, man, I do. And she said, but what would cause you to feel that you are? And I think it was at that point where I just broke down. I started bawling on the phone, and she was like, yo, just breathe, calm down. What's happening? I mean, not pay no money yet. I mean, not set no appointment yet. But she genuinely cares. So since then, I have just been going to Auntie. I call her Auntie. So I've just been going to her since then. So yeah.
And this is just in relation to personal issues, business issues.
Right. To public issues, with my present being separated from a husband of 7 years. So it was on that basis where I called, because I thought I had slipped into some kind of psychological imbalance or a little bit uneasy, or what's that word? Uneven. Just imbalance. I thought I was going crazy. So I had reached out to her, and a friend of mine actually gave me her contact, and I called. So that's where it started. And I've just been, it's I don't want to share my secrets with anybody else. So I haven't really sought any other therapist or counselor or anything of that nature. So I'm just sticking with Auntie.
What have you learned so far about yourself that you didn't know?
I've learned that maybe who I am is attracting the type of men that I do attract. So it comes with self-realization, self-responsibility, and also, when I say patterns, to pay close attention.
What have you been attracting?
Mostly men who are narcissistic in behavior, and men who are, that comes last. So initially it's them being broken, it's them just wanting help, it's them kind of, the unlovables, the thug, what I'm saying, like, and that's what I tended to attract, because I love helping.
You like a challenge?
Maybe it's a challenge, but I don't think me loving to help is an issue. As long as I'm in the capacity to help you, I'm going to help you. So I think that's what has been the issue. Just all these men are probably art projects to me. And I'm saying this to you now with realizing it in this moment. It's not something that I premeditated to answer. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it. I'm unraveling it with you.
Right. No judgment. Absolutely none. And during this process, who takes care of you? When you going these situations as a woman, and we're naturally nurturers and givers and want to love, how do you maintain you?
I I've learned that even though I have friends,
Right.
they're not the friend to me as I am to them. They will take whatever information I give them and pass it on, and I don't know who these people are. So I've just learned to have an extremely small circle. I've always joked about it for years, but I've literally learned how to have a really, really small circle. So,
And that's why therapy is so good.
yeah, my therapist knows everything. Shoot, I didn't even say that. No, she knows even when my circle and all, like, Auntie, this is what happened today. Like, she knows everything. So, yo, props to my therapist.
It is a safe space, and you would encourage people to get therapy.
Yeah, and it's not just for rich people, because I'm not a wealthy human being, but it's something that I prioritize. So if you want to prioritize it, that's fine. I doubt a therapist would say no to you if you don't have the amount of money. I believe if you have a conversation, then something can be worked out, because what they offer to, what they cater to, firstly, is you, not your pocket. So I feel like if you want to speak with Auntie, that's my counselor. I'm sure I can leave her info with you. So
Sure.
Yeah. So you can speak with her. So yeah.
Counseling is very good.
Yeah.
Having gone through therapy, or is going through therapy, do you regret those public, what do you call them?
Meltdowns.
Vent or meltdowns?
No, I don't, because it's a part of who I am, and it's a part of the process. We do get angry sometimes, as females, when we found out that we've been wronged for so long. And when we've been trying to have a conversation about it, we've been told that it is us, we're the problems, we're the ones it's in our heads, and we're being manipulative. So no, I don't regret it at all. The only thing I regret is people who don't necessarily understand where I'm coming from, and the judgments that they pass. And the people who take the videos and have them on other public platforms just for me to be ridiculed. It's not spreading awareness. It is not done from a place of love. In my eyes, it's malicious, because I wasn't reached out to. I wasn't contacted. I wasn't made aware. So if those things have not been checked, it's done maliciously.
And that's a part of the industry. That's a part of fame that you have to go through. People
But
will
I'm not this famous person that people think I am. I'm so not that person.
But fame is relative. The definition of fame
That's
would
true.
categorize you as someone being famous, popular.
Yeah.
And sometimes people shy away from it because they think it's self-centered or...
I'm just not at that level, but I get what you're saying.
It is
though,
popularity, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is a part of it, and we have to live and grow through it.
Yeah, people are actually being heard because of because of my trauma, and I'm learning that it's not a one-off situation. That there are millions of women that are going through what I am going through, what I have been through, and some of them have not come up for air. They're still beneath drowning.
For those persons who might have no idea.
Yeah. For real, okay, it's true.
So you have been separated for a year now?
Almost a year. Oh my God, I cannot wait for it to be a year. So I got kicked out of the house January, February, June, July. I think on the 31st of July. So
2020?
2020 last year, yeah. So on the 1st of August, I was already in my grandma's house. So the day after, I was in my grandma's house. So when I was kicked out, I left, But him say he never kicked me out, which he did. But he wasn't expecting me to leave, apparently. So in him not expecting me to leave, he didn't mean it. But anyway. So yeah, since that happened, I was in August, let's say. So I'm almost at a year. I'm what, 2 months shy from a year, 3 months shy from a year, yeah.
That you're separated from your husband for how many years? And what led to the separation?
We were married for 7 years. And the haunting thought, the realization I came to was that he was never mine, because it was the pastor's daughter that was having sex with my husband for years. She's even gotten pregnant for him on multiple occasions as well. But of course she can't carry the baby because until that show says she's impure. Just little over a year of us being married, the affair started with one prominent woman that he's been with, and we were in the church together. We're on the worship team together. I was a choir director. She was on the worship team. He was on the drums. So within like shy of a year, or even less than that, I'm giving them a year to be polite. their relationship started. So he never belonged to me.
How you know about this? That it started so quickly?
Because I had always gotten an inclination,
Okay.
and when I confronted him, I was told I'm a liar. I remember one conversation I had with her, and I was pregnant with Jonathan. Jonathan is now 6 this year. Remember me telling you, and we had a miscarriage before Jonathan. We had Jonathan. So with me being pregnant, I was messaging her and I was like, yo, what? And I was pressuring her, what you love about him, what you love about him. And she just told me straight up, yo, she loved that she can talk to him. She loved that, like he's a friend. And then when I confronted him and, I got off there from mad black woman type stuff, I went off. Oh, if I do this to me, and he must say, you pressure, and I never that she mean, I never that love the show talk about, and that's when it started. And from then, I was just like, what am I doing? So it started from then. So I had gotten the inclination from then, but you're married, you're in the church, you're not allowed to get divorced, and I do not, I don't care about people who say that you're not allowed to. The truth is, we're not allowed to be divorced when you're married. We're looked down upon. We are, there's always the argument, you could have done something, or did you pray, but have you been on fasting? You put your name in the prayer box. What about the cross? You put your name on the cross. And it's not just him, sometimes it's you as well. What have you been doing? So I felt like, we couldn't leave. I couldn't leave. So I stayed and I tried to make it work while still being on the worship team and being on.
For 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years. Because when I left, when he kicked me out, we're approaching our 8th year anniversary. So we were within that 7th year. And as you know, the number 8 means new beginning, a refreshing, a newness. And I left before that. The number 7 means completion. So just in me even leaving, numerically it aligned. It aligned. And there's no way. And because I was with him for so long, I thought I made a mistake. So I have days where I'm like, I forgot to go back. Because what am I do? But when I think, bro, of what I had to go through and the mental gymnastics that I had to get used to, I was like, there's no way. Because my eldest 5-year-old, he's 6, Jonathan, he says, Mommy, but why I can't get back with Daddy? Jonathan drew a picture just last week of the entire family, me, him, and father, and Jalil. And that's what I have to go through on a weekly, not daily basis, with my son saying, but mommy. And I make no qualms. Ask your father. Has Daddy told you why Mommy don't want to come back? You have to ask Daddy. But Mommy, why? Because if Mommy tell you why I cannot go back with Daddy, Mommy is going to seem very selfish and mean. So let your daddy tell you. We are put in a very precarious position as women of men like that, because we cannot be truthful about our experiences, because we're going to come off as complaining. Lyric still talk about it. She needs to get over it rather than spreading awareness.
How has therapy helped you with that aspect of wanting to tell your child or your children?
I haven't spoken to my therapist about it yet, but I have asked her though, because she does child psychology as well. So I say, yo, can Jonathan, she's like, yeah, of course. So it's just now me as the mother to be mentally okay with my son sitting in, talking to this person who he has no idea about. Because I don't say, Mommy, going to therapist? No, Mommy, have some work.
Right.
But he doesn't know my therapist. One of the most important person in my life right now. He doesn't know who she is. And that's because it is a very sensitive person to introduce to you.
Your children, yeah. And a lot of parents carry that guilt of what am I doing to my family? What am I doing to my kids? What am I doing to my child? And that's one of the reasons women will tell you they have stayed beyond
because
the
of the
time
children.
they should in relationships that are not healthy.
Yeah.
At the healthiest. So women have been reaching out to you, thanking you.
And sharing their experiences as well. I've heard some horrible experiences. Horrible, where I'm like, dang, maybe I should get what you got then. You want to switch? And just when I hear the story, it's like, this cannot be a human being doing this to another human being, irrespective of gender. You cannot be treating another human being like that way.
What do you think about us women? Why do we go through these things? Why do we allow ourselves to continuously go through these things?
Because we're expected to, and that's what we were taught when we were younger.
Expected by who?
We're expected by society to go through these things. They don't hear, boy, you're strong like your mother. Boy, you're stubborn like your mother. Boy, you're like your mother. They're expected to. And because we carry the children psychologically, a connection is made. Oh, she can't manage. She can't manage. So they expect us to. They expect us to be this strong black woman when they want us to be strong and black, because otherwise we're just rebellious and loud. But when it suits their narrative, then we're strong and black and resilient. But when it doesn't, lad, you can't done talk now, yeah, give on done. That's what it becomes. Again, our personal experiences are out there in the open, and then people take what they want to get from it and react and expect you to validate their reactions. I'm already dealing with everything I have to deal with. What I choose to put out and how you interpret it, that cannot be on me.
But you seem to be doing good now.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you from, it's almost a year.
Yes.
How are you?
A party me want to throw a huge party, but I don't know what I can call it. There's so much COVID restrictions. But right now I am happy. I tell you, I do have days though where I'm like, I need help.
Do you encourage women to leave?
Yeah, man.
What advice do you give
Yeah,
them?
what? You can't. Come in for lyric, left the boy. What you mean? Give me my call back. Give me my call back on WhatsApp. Leave. Yes. 1,000% leave, because we're staying at the risk of our mental health. We're staying at the risk of us developing multiple personalities and split personalities. We're staying at the risk of demonic intervention and opening up ourselves to another realm that we were never supposed to open. So it goes beyond mental health and physical safety. I'm talking about the spirit. That's what I'm talking about. And you don't have to be a Christian to believe in them, or a spiritualist, or whatever it is. We all know that these entities are real, and as to keep us safe and our mind, I will never tell a woman to say, after my ears turn, I'm going to say, man, I know if I want to talk to, I'm going to tell you straight up for left. My friends, when they were getting married, I told Chavo not to get married. I told Chantel not to get married. Big up on themselves, they're still married, by the way, happily in love. I was like, don't do it, girl, you're going to be trapped. Because in that moment, I was trapped. That was my experience. I was trapped and I could not get out. So I said, dog, you don't want to get trapped, dog. Don't do it.
But how do we get trapped in these situations? Is it that our finances have been
No, man, when I say trapped, I
merged?
mean from a religious perspective. Never finances. All the monies went into his account, by the way. None went into my account. And the excuse was I was poor at money management. And for years, I believed that crap. For years. Until now, I'm living on my own, tripling my expenses and my income. And I'm still holding my head above the water. Us leaving will be difficult, but it will open up a brand new horizon for us, path. You see me? It will be new for us. And the grass is only greener because it's being watered.
So you have to do your work.
Yeah, in
You have to
watering
do
that
your
green
work.
grass that you see, in taking advantage of the warm sunset. It's there, it's attainable, it can be done. But bro, when you're stuck in this nasty, slimy, grungy smelling relationship and situation, you will never see it. You will never see it. But when I was married, my experience was I have to ask permission, I have to get permission, I do a little money for myself if I want to do nothing for myself. That was my experience. So I don't know anything outside of that. So,
But Lyric, how did it get to that? What was happening with you? Why a next individual could penetrate you like that mentally?
oh, honey, because he did penetrate me like that. So, you know, so soul ties are a real thing. Right? And even though I don't believe that when you have like multiple sexual partners that there is a connection, but there is a soul tie, you know. But there's a mental connection that will never be connected. But spiritually, as I say, there is a connection made, okay? Because that transference of energy is the most intimate you can give somebody, short of having a child. That's the most intimate thing you can give somebody. So because of that now, I trusted him. He was my husband. This is the man that I was taught in church that I need to respect, I need to do for, and I'm a ride or a die type of woman. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to be quiet, I will. But if we need to, like, what? Baby, oh! You must say mad. No, I'm I speak. Now worry yourself. I'm that girl. I'm that woman who will do that for him because I trusted him so much. I'm like, okay, no. There's no way. But he, because him say, so that means say him nah. Still look fishy. I'm gonna ask him. No, sorry, my bad. It's all me.
So you weren't getting outside conversation from even mommy or grandma to say, no man, you can't do that.
Oh no, I don't think I understand Christianity and the religiosity of it. For them to encourage me to say that is the devil. Oh no, they can't do that. That's Satan. No.
Well, I'm a Christian, and what you are describing sounds like a cult. That sounds like a cult, Lyric.
Bro, I have had that thought just last week. I was like, I wonder if I'm a part of like a cult.
No, I am a Christian, and I don't see nobody in my church or household doing
what
that.
They would say to that, they would be like, oh,
I'm an antichrist.
Oh, fast about that would be there. That would be there. You sure? The prayer and fast would be there. You sure? That would be their answer or response to that.
While we have to reverence the Supreme Being, it's still important to have an independent voice and a safe space.
Yeah, and just because of how our molecular structure as human beings, we're triune, we're spirit, body, and mind, soul. Yeah. So it would stand to reason that each aspect of us needs to be tended
needs to be filled.
Exactly.
It needs to be
so the
taken
physical
care of.
body, I'm gonna need to see a therapist to help my mind, body, so I can then now go to God with the mind that He promised, the mind of Christ that He promised. So
and know what to ask.
Yeah.
So how is business now for Lyric? How is the new ready to throw a divorce party?
What, girl? Wait a second. I'm gonna call it the big D. It's gonna be
no. There are divorces parties. There are divorce parties. I can hook you up.
I can have to Google.
They're happening.
Because we are happy. Because like finally, granted, he's in my life because we share children. When I tell you I want my boys, and they're the reason, they're the people tethering me. No. Because if I didn't have them. I don't know if I would be here both physically and otherwise. So let's say I survive that trauma and I live. My mental state would be completely demolished. My boys keep me sane. They keep me happy. And they are my happiness. And even though I know that sometimes I don't want to be around them, because sometimes when I chip and I get moody, Jonathan is such an empath. He picks up. So to have a 6-year-old pick up on these social, emotional cues, it's heartbreaking. Because as I tell you, I don't have a schedule when I'm going to be in that mood, you know? Yeah. So even I recognize it happens in the night, and sometimes when I have them, I don't have those episodes, you see me, or that doesn't happen to me. And sometimes when I have them, I do. But when am I gonna go? When am I gonna hide from a two penny them? So sometimes they do see me cry, and then I have to lie. Oh no, I'm just thinking about something, man. Papa, I don't know how I'm going to, manage this month. Something.
Kids' mental health is so important.
Yeah,
the mental
and
health
he has
of
been
children.
acting out, and I feel like I'm the only one that can deal with Jonathan. I'm so protective of him. I just feel like I'm the only one, because when he gets into that space where he's acting out, all I can do is just hug him and talk to him, and more than half the time my child breaks down in my arms. Him just start crying loud, like I just beat him like, Jonathan, what's going on? He must say something simple. I just want to wear my red shoes. Simple. But his emotion is coming from somewhere, and it's not the red shoes. It's just not.
Therapy will help with that, I hope.
Yeah, but again,
just
it's just
slowly
introducing him.
I guess she will tell you when and how to do it.
Yeah, but am I ready?
Yeah, maybe.
To have that discussion.
Or maybe continuous therapy will allow you to manage your emotions more.
Yeah, and that's why I've gone the route of just focusing on me with therapy, so I can know how to, but I have to with Jonathan, though, because he's of that age. Yeah. He's very cognizant, very aware.
Where does Christianity stand with you now? Where do you go to church? Where do you worship? What perception do you have now about Christianity?
My world has been turned upside down, because when they talk to you at church, they talk to you from like the voice of God. That's what they tell us, that the pastors are God's representative on earth. And if your pastor believes in something else and then he acts differently or accordingly, it messes up your concept of God quite a bit. It becomes, am I even serving God or you? Am I literally in a cult, or is this like an establishment of God? You know what I mean? I do not have a healthy relationship with the people at church, in the church, and the building, because it represents them. I have no interest in it either.
Where do you go now? Where do you worship?
See, but that's just church.
Right.
But my relationship with God is completely different. The Bible speaks about not forsaking the assembling of the brethren. And that, for me, my interpretation of that is strictly for building each other. I need you, you need me type of mindset. I need you, you need me. Because the Bible speaks more about mental health that we'd like to give it credit for. Having the mind of Christ. The mind of Christ. As a man thinketh, so is he. The Bible is riddled and just rocked with mental health references and care. But the church ignores that and focus more on, you know, fear wear this and you know fear wear that, because the Jezebel, that's what it focuses on. And completely eliminates us as human beings, and they victimize us as women, because the Jezebel spirit is a woman. So as far as they're concerned, it can never be prominent or prevalent in a man. But they're teaching us things that would keep us in a certain matrix and mindset to keep us controlled.
But you have to be able to read and dissect and make meaning of different things
For yourself. Yeah.
And not because you think this is how others want you to live and exist.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
Because mentally, we're triggered by different things.
Yes,
so what triggers me, it might not trigger you.
Even some gospel songs, you know,
even
sing at the church,
songs.
I cannot sing them because my is that the words can't even
bring back memory.
Lips. What? And these are gospel songs, Jesus songs. I cannot even utter because of the memory that it invokes. What? This place I should go to for safety and for protection and prayer and miracle olive oil. I'm a prayer clot. It's now a symbol of pain when I think about it, and if I should go there, that alone messes anybody up. So I had to draw a line. No, this is church and this is God. I had to. So my relationship with God, working on it effortlessly, working on it as hard as it is. Church, I have no desire to work on any relationship with church or the members there or to do anything. None whatsoever, not even to help. There has to be some care again, the compassion. Care about the people that you're leading enough to let them build a relationship with Jesus for themselves and don't have them be dependent on you, because when you fail as a human being, as a man, they blame God. And their vision and the experiences with God is going to be distorted and ruined. So you're ripping them away from God by you being a selfish human being, because you will fail. You will fail. But now ask Christ, I'm going to mess up my youth. So don't tether me to you, then God. Put me straight. Give me the main line for Jesus. Because other than that, when everything hits the fan, I'm not even going to go to him, because you resent him and you hurt me and you were wrong. And you mistreated me. So just care to align us right. Teach us how to have a relationship independently of you.
We reverence the Supreme Being.
Yeah.
But we have earthly problems, and people are trained in different areas to help us.
Yeah.
Hence therapy. So
Yeah.
I just want to say I commend you for taking that step to focus on your mental health.
Yeah.
And I hope next year or next 2 years, when we do talk again, it's a different story.
Yeah.
You've overcome fully, healed. Maybe I have to go through a couple of people to reach you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like people to know that I didn't ask? That you know, the misconceptions about you, how maybe friends should deal with an ex-friend who is healing, because there's no timeline for grieving.
Yeah.
There's no timeline for grieving. We all grieve in different ways,
Yeah.
and we cannot invalidate someone's experience by saying, but it happened a year ago, it happened 10 years ago. Trauma lives with us for life.
That's why it's called trauma. As much as we want to believe that we did something to deserve what we're going through as human beings, there is no way that you can search for something to justify your trauma and then be okay with it. You should never be okay. It is not okay. There's not one thing that you did or didn't do that resulted in him hitting you, cheating on you, and sexually assaulting you. No. Because as human beings, there must be respect for another human being.
And you can love someone, but you have to love yourself more.
Yeah.
You have to love yourself more.
Yeah.
Did you think at some point you weren't loving yourself enough?
Yeah, but
at
even
that
now
point?
it's difficult to even love myself because I'm still struggling with, girl, what did you do? Because some days I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. Next days I'm like, but I must have done something. Why would he do this for so long? So it's a process.
It's a process.
And it's like the ocean. It goes and comes and goes and comes, and it ebbs and it flows. So I'm still processing it. I'm still going through it. There is no thing that I have said, yep, this is it. I'm still going through it. So I guess I'm just a living proof of surviving and coping irrespective of, you know.
Yeah, and you're on the right path. So I do wish you well. And sometimes healing is your only closure.
Yeah, and not the answers. That's so good. No, but that's good because we want those conversations. No, I need closure. Nah, baby, you need to go. Closure is a myth. It is an illusion. Closure is something to tether you to the person. I want to be snip. Nah.
Healing, self-love.
Yeah, the best closure. Self-love.
Those are the best closure you can ask for in these situations, as opposed to trying to get someone to say something to you to make you feel better. That's regression, I think.
Yeah.
That's wanting to go back, wanting to find out what went wrong. Regression, but heal and self-love, new direction. Yeah. And forgiveness. Have you forgiven him?
No, I don't. I know I've forgiven when I can answer that freely, and right now I can't. So my answer is no.
Well, you are a strong woman and you're on the right path. Self-love and taking care of yourself mentally.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to leave you with today, guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Yeah. It'll serve you a whole lot better when you take care of your mental health. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Saudicka Diaram show.